Hey, I was actually planning on making a video a couple days ago about how I don't think that spirituality is necessarily a bad thing. However, something has not necessarily been brought to my attention. It's something I already knew. It's more something I realized. Um, I was watching Penn and Teller's Bullshit, which is a good show if you've ever seen it. Um, Specifically, I was watching the episode on alternative medicine, and they got to the section on chiropractic. And I have a big issue with chiropractic. I had an issue with it before I saw this episode. I mean, and I've been thinking about it a lot more recently because a lot of my friends go to chiropractors, take their children to chiropractors. They swear by chiropractors. And I want to say something. Like I said, I was going to make a video about how I actually don't mind spirituality and I kind of like it in some fashions. But it's a dangerous enabler a lot of times because I've tried to talk to some people, like rationally, about the risks and benefits of chiropractic, especially involving taking children. One of my friends um, takes their child, who's uh, about 2 years old, to a chiropractor. And anyway, and if you try and have a discussion about this with them, they a lot of times will get very defensive, like almost not quite, but almost like you're attacking the religion. And because generally when I talk about it, I talk about the physical dangers, and I talk about the fact that the whole vertebral subluxation. Incidentally, if you don't know much about chiropractic, here's a quick rundown. The science of chiropractic states that disease, not all disease, I don't think, but most disease, um, developmental problems, etc., etc., and so forth, are caused by small spinal misalignments called vertebral subluxations. And that correcting these through regular adjustments um, will keep you healthy. You don't need medication. You don't need this. You don't need that. Um, Now, don't get me wrong, there are some chiropractors who don't hold with that. They do adjustments uh, because it makes you feel good, and it can actually help you for like muscle strains and stuff like that. It's essentially similar to getting a massage, but regardless, the quote unquote true science of chiropractic. And I'm around chiropractors and people who study chiropractic a lot because I live in Davenport, Iowa, which has, to my knowledge, the biggest chiropractic college in the world, Palmer, named after the guy who made this shit up. Anyway, regardless, chiropractic is big business here, and a lot of people go to them. And the whole vertebral subluxation thing, and there's also this whole thing about innate intelligence, basically the divinity of your body and this and that, whatever. Anyway, regardless, it's this spiritual bent that people have that allows them to accept this stuff, this potentially dangerous stuff, especially for their children. I mean, your children's skeletons aren't even fully formed when they're infants. Come on. Anyway, um, so in good conscience, I really want to, and I still may make the I don't mind spirituality video, but it can be dangerous. And I'm not even talking about religion in general. I'm not talking about like specific religions. I'm talking about this willingness to accept, basically credulity. That's what it boils down to. A lack of skepticism. This quote unquote open mindedness. And I put quotes around open mindedness because although I'm a skeptic, I am open minded. If presented with evidence, I will accept it as long as it's good evidence. Um, but these credulous people, because they have this spiritual bent, they're willing to accept all sorts of things. Um, And I mean, a lot of times it's not all that dangerous. It's not all that damaging. You might lose a couple bucks here or there, um, buying stones or tarot cards or whatever, and that's not a big deal. But when you start looking at things like alternative medicine, especially when you look at alternative medicine to the exclusion of legitimate medicine, you start to walk a dangerous line. I had a friend of mine who had some serious medical issues and she had to have her gallbladder removed. Now, about a year and a half later, I was talking with her and she was very annoyed that her doctor hadn't talked to her about alternative methods of dealing with her problem. And I mean, she talked about things like homeopathy and the like. And I, first of all, was very worried that she was thinking along those lines. But I was very, very glad that those things hadn't occurred to her earlier. Because if she had turned to alternative medicine instead of legitimate medicine, I have no doubt that she'd be dead now. So, I don't know. I'm not sure where I'm going. I probably should have scripted this out so I'd at least have a more general direction. I guess I'm just very worried about this willingness to accept that the spiritual but not religious folks tend to have, or even the religious folks in general. I mean, in fact, let's just group them all together. Spiritual folks are essentially watered down religious folks. They don't have necessarily have the dogma. They just have the mindset. And see, my problem with the spiritual stuff is pretty much, not completely, but pretty much the same problem I have with religion, and that's it distracts you from what's really going on. I honestly wouldn't mind religion all that much if they A, wouldn't try and enforce it on everyone, or B, it wouldn't take away from legitimate treatments or research. Um, that's basically my big issues. I mean, there's a lot of people like who are concerned with whether it's true or not, and that's an issue, but in the end, it's kind of a moot point. I don't really care. Um, you can believe whatever you want to believe, but if you believe it to the exclusion of proven things, then I start to take issue. If your belief contradicts something we know to be true, and you accept the belief and reject that which we have empirically proven, or empirically shown, proof is only valid in mathematics, but whatever, um, then there's a problem. There's a disconnect somewhere, and whatever. Anyway, well, I still got a minute, but I don't want to keep rambling. Anyway, I just want to put this out because I was planning on making another video, and then I came to this realization that, at least at this moment, while I'm kind of riled, I'm not going to be able to do it. So, um, I hope you all are doing well, and I'll probably post again later this week. All right, bye. Oh, yeah, ethics video will probably be my next post. Um, I had something else, but I really can't think of it. Oh well, whatever. This time for real. Bye. Peace. All that good stuff. Be skeptical.